If you find yourself getting stuck on what to plan for your meals each week, it's time to do a little brainstorming. We're going to use a quick exercise to get unstuck and make meal planning so much easier.
Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renae Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast.
I don't know about you, but I personally think that meal planning is one of the most annoying things if we don't have a plan in place. I get so frustrated if I am tired and overwhelmed and stressed out, and I get to the end of a long, exhausting day, and then I need to decide what's for dinner. And it just makes me a little bit grumpy or a lot of bit grumpy. But if we have a meal planning routine that makes sense, we can stick to, it's simple enough to stay consistent with, we no longer have to worry about that because everything is planned out in advance. We can shift things around if our schedules change or we decide that that's not really what we want for that night. We can swap it with another day if we need to. But really, what we're looking at is not needing to make the decisions the night of, because that is where most of the stress comes into play. I know, at least for us, when we were not having a regular meal planning routine, it was always a stressful part. And you don't want to end your day on a stressful note. When you get home, you want to be able to relax and enjoy your time. And maybe that time is enjoying that time in the kitchen when you're cooking or prepping or doing something, but it can be enjoyable instead of stressful. And we don't need to spend a lot of time in there, but we do need to eat. And if you're cooking a lot of your meals at home, then you know how stressful this can be if you aren't prepared ahead of time. So, your meal planning routine is a very crucial role and a very crucial routine to have in place. And one of the things that can help that is making it really easy to choose which meals. But sometimes when you sit down to plan out your meals the week before, you get a little bit stuck because you look at your meal planning calendar and you just kind of go blank. And that is what we want to avoid. So, we're going to do a really quick exercise so that that doesn't happen. And you always go into your meal planning routine with some ideas stirring. Now, I have talked about it in the past and in the previous episodes. You can go back and look at all of the meal planning episodes. And if you need to actually like search out those keywords instead of just scrolling through the list, because we do have a lot of episodes, you can actually go to our Facebook community, which is at facebook.com/groups/the routine advantage community. And pinned at the top of that group is something called an episode library. You can open that up. It's a spreadsheet, and you can type in any keyword that you are looking for, and any episode that has that in the title will pop up. So you can put in meal or meal planning or menu, anything like that, and it will pop up with all of the previous episodes. But when you get your meal planning routine in place, what we're really looking at is having the simplicity. And in those episodes, often I talk about a meal planning calendar, which is a wall calendar. And with that, you will have multiple like weeks, if not months, of meal plans at your fingertips because they don't just get erased off of a whiteboard or a chalkboard or something in your kitchen. They're actually in this calendar. So you can just flip through and you've got tons of ideas at your fingertips. But if you are just getting started, or maybe you have a different system set up where you're not using that wall calendar, then you might need some additional ideas. And I actually do use the wall calendar, and I still have a list of additional ideas on the side because it's just super helpful. So, this is what we're going to go through today. It is a very quick exercise, but it is an exercise that you really want to just take a couple of pieces of paper and a pen, and you just want to sit down and do some brainstorming. This can literally take you 3 to 5 minutes, or you can spend a full 10 to 15 minutes. Like, you can do whatever you want. And I would also advise you to ask your family members about this or anybody that is eating in your household because they might have some input on these ideas too, which is also very helpful for you. So, what we're going to do is you're going to grab a couple of pieces of paper and a pen, and you're going to sit down and you're going to take the first piece of paper and you're going to divide it into three columns. You can do it portrait mode, landscape mode, it doesn't matter. So, you're just going to divide it into three columns, and this paper is going to be all focused on dinners. So, at the top of each column, you're going to write in the first column, it's going to be quick dinners. The second column is going to be titled Family Favorites, and the third column is going to be titled Ideas to Try. And before you even get started brainstorming in this paper, we're going to grab the second piece of paper and we're going to do three columns on this one as well. And this is your B plus L plus S paper. So this is breakfast, lunches, and snacks. So in that first column, you're going to do breakfasts. The second column is going to be titled lunches, and the third column is going to be titled snacks. Easy guess, right? So now that you have both pieces of paper titled with the columns, now it's time to brainstorm. And this is just getting any ideas you can think of out onto paper and just putting them in the appropriate column of which one it applies to. So this does not have to be organized, it does not have to be alphabetized or anything like that. You don't have to categorize it if you don't want to. Like, you can keep this very, very simple because you're probably just going to be scanning these lists anyway. It's not going to matter if, the beef dinners are separated from the chicken dinners. Like, that's not going to matter so much. You're just trying to spitball and get anything in your mind out onto paper so that when it comes time to meal planning, you have a ton of ideas right at your fingertips. So, just some ideas to think about as you're going through when you're looking at your dinners paper, you're looking at quick dinners first. So you might be thinking tacos, spaghetti, mixed greens, salad with grilled chicken. Like, those are really quick and easy dinners that come together fast, and they're usually pretty easy cleanup as well. And a lot of times the quick dinners are also ingredients that we generally have on hand. It doesn't have to be, but these are also just really quick meals that if you're in a hurry or you're running short on time or you have something going on that night, it's going to be very easy for you to just throw this meal together. Because while we're planning out our weekly menu, we're also looking at our schedule. So if you see that it's a busy day, or maybe you're busy that whole day and not necessarily in the evening, but you're busy that whole day and you're going to be really tired when it comes time to dinner. So you want something that's really easy to throw together so that you can relax the rest of the evening. You're just going to kind of take those things into account. So we want to make sure we have some quick dinner ideas on hand. The second column for family favorites, this might be something more like burgers on a grill, which could also be under quick dinners, but this is something that your family really loves. It could be lasagna, it could be white chicken chili, or a favorite soup that has been passed down in the family. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, it's just if it's a family favorite, it can go in this column. It can be a quick dinner, or it can be something that takes a little bit more time and effort. The third column, ideas to try, this is where you write down things that you have been wanting to experiment with that you have not yet tested. So you don't know if it's a quick dinner and you don't know if it's a family favorite yet. So this is where we are going to write down the ideas so we don't lose track of them. And when we have a little bit more time to explore and kind of be in the kitchen for a while and test something new, that's when you could choose something from this column. So this might be like a new salmon recipe or any recipe you found on Pinterest, or if your husband sends you recipes that he finds on social media like mine does, like, that's a good time to put those on a list so that you can try them later. And then moving to your second page for your BLS page, this is where you can plug in some breakfast ideas. This is like fruit and yogurt parfaits, oatmeal, scrambled eggs, quiche, things like that, that you would normally have for breakfast. These can be quick breakfasts or they can be longer breakfasts. It does not matter. Lunches, same thing. You can do sandwiches, salads, chicken and rice meals. Maybe it's even leftovers. Like, that is just something that you want to plug in as an option for lunches. Snacks, it really, truly, whatever sounds good to you, whatever your family likes. It could be fresh fruit, it could be fresh veggies and dip, hummus, beef jerky, truly does not matter, whatever you guys like for snacks. Now, once you have these two pieces of paper ready to go, that's when you can take this into your meal planning session where you're going to choose your dinners for the week first, because I think that's easiest. And you're just going to jot down for the 7 days what your plan is, whether you actually need to plug in a meal from maybe these lists or something else that you're thinking of. Maybe you're adding a night there that you're needing to use up leftovers or do a fridge sweep. Maybe you're out that night, whether it's a date night or just an event that you're not even going to be home, then cross that out and like just put night out where you don't actually have to worry about dinner that night and get your dinners taken care of first. And then I like choosing 1 to 2 breakfasts and 1 to 2 lunches for the week. And then I have that planned. My whole week is planned out at that point. And then I can pick a couple of snacks and make sure those are on the grocery list if we don't already have them in the house. And my meal planning is done. I know that those are all ready to go. And now all I have to do is grocery shop and do the prep, which again, I have episodes talking about if you want to break it down a little bit more. But that is what is going to be incredibly helpful for you when you are in your meal planning process, because with just a couple of minutes, we have collected dozens of menu ideas to make menu planning easier. And when you think of more ideas, just add them to your list. This does not mean that this list is your only option. Like when you're thinking of more things, just continue adding to it. And eventually you're going to have just a brainstormed list of ideas. And like I said, ask your family, ask what they would like to have on this list too, so that you have their input and some of their ideas can get added to the menu plan as well. So that when you are sitting down to your meal planning routine, you've got everything you need and it can be incredibly quick and easy. We don't want to make this harder than it needs to be. And this is a really great way to simplify it. So, again, 2 pieces of paper, not tape, 2 pieces of paper. The first one is going to be all about dinners. You're going to have 3 columns, and it's going to be quick dinners, family favorites, ideas to try. And then the second piece of paper, or the back side of the first piece of paper, you could do that too, is going to be your BLS. So the first column is breakfasts, the second column is lunches, and the third column is snacks. So, again, I hope you enjoy this little quick tip to collect dozens of menu ideas in minutes. And if you want to come and join us in that free Facebook community, we would absolutely love to have you in there. Again, it's at facebook.com/groups/the routine advantage community. You can also find the link in the show notes, and we will catch you back here on the next episode.
Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.